God bless each and every one of us. I don't know, for some very weird reason, every time we start service, I feel like not doing anything. By the time we finish the invocation, I feel like just sitting still. I was singing the hymn with the kids this morning, and I only had to stop us because I had, you see, and sometimes that's the limitation of our condition and our schedules. So because we have a program, and our program says we need to go do service at 11 o'clock. And I was having a beautiful time with these kids. Jenny, I just wanted to sing, and they were so much into it, and the melodies were beautiful, and I was really enjoying every bit of it. But I never got my mind, but we had a program to attend. What a misery. So I had to cut the flow to attend to this. Learning new things by the day. Jay, would you want to share with us briefly some of the points we picked up from this morning for the benefit of the adults who were not here?
Before we watched we did the hue, we watched the video. In that video, what they discussed.
Hey there.
We discussed how humans are connected to the universe, how the universe isn't some other thing, it's not distant, and how God isn't distant from us, but instead within us. When we are born, we're expected to be molded into something else, something different by our teachers, our parents, all that stuff. But what we really should be doing is using our intuition, the one given to us at birth, to better ourselves. And they also discussed how things such as the end of something, or fear, pain, or loss, it's not meant to be seen as negative. You're not meant to see, oh, that's a shame. Why did that happen to me? You're meant to see, how can I better myself from doing this? Or how can this better me? And when we pray to God, we're expected to be praying to someone, some higher being, somewhere distant from us that we can't really reach. But really, He is within us. He is us. We just haven't realized it.
Yeah. And what came through for you during the time of singing the hymn? What came through for you? What was your vibration like?
Can you explain what you mean by that?
What did you feel? What did you sense? What did you intuit? Or it was just a time of just singing or praying?
It's time for relaxation.
It's good. It's good. Anyway, thank you. Last week we were here. Divine Cool 2025 is gathering momentum. I'm excited. Tell your friends, loved ones, girlfriends, concubines, side chicks, side cocks, colleagues, mates, that a place to be 2 weeks from now is DC 25. And if anyone has not yet dropped their picture for the promo, today is the deadline. Yeah. Where did we get to last week? Where did we get to last week? Anyone?
I didn't get a chance to revise so because we couldn't record. I forgot. I went on Monday. I went on YouTube. I realized, so we didn't record. It wasn't there.
You got a bit of echo. I'm not sure if it's your microphone or if it's just the space you're in.
I think it's the space I made because my church premises has been invaded. So
Okay, no, it's fine. That's fine. We'll think about how we can make it more acoustically convenient. Amma, can you rescue? Well, she has disappeared.
I remember we were talking about something to do with well, for me, my interpretation and how I interpreted the whole thing was more growth as within. You shared something as within, so without, as above, so below.
You're just trying to be smart, yeah?
Pardon? Sorry, I don't know, my computer is not picking up.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's what I remember.
Okay. There was you. Oh, okay.
He wasn't here.
He wasn't, yes, but someone was here, wasn't it? Interesting. Okay, that's fine. At least if you remember as about so beneath, that's good enough. Oh. Okay. Thank you. So everything we're treating is still building up to DC 25. Over the course of the week, I had this quite heavy on my heart, and I thought definitely we would treat it separately on its own next year in March. But I thought it also ties in quite beautifully with our theme for what's our theme for DC 25? Just in front of you. Those of you who have got it as your background.
Grand reclamation from shock to sovereignty.
Grand reclamation.
I was reading from Sofmami's background.
From shock to sovereignty.
I'm also reading from your background.
Yeah. And when you hear the theme, what comes to your mind? By what comes to your mind, what are you expecting out of DC 25? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting to understand what the topic is about.
You're expecting to understand what the topic is about. The words, reclamation, sovereignty. Shock. You get the occasion to go into what a primary shock is. And then it will become apparent why shock to sovereignty. So I did indicate this theme hinges on the book Break Free. Elements of it. The Way Forward is my favorite BIT book for very good reasons. Now it's being rivaled by Breakthrough. I love what the head caption of the book says, that you never know how deep you have been sleeping until you wake up. How true. You never know the possibilities of your potential until you are free from your soul trauma blocks. That's where From Shock to Sovereignty comes from. Transcending your childhood traumas, your life traumas, and releasing yourself to fully connect with your potential. Am I talking too slowly?
It's good.
You can hear me all right, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we're dealing with. And in line with that, I thought it was useful for us to look at the part sexuality, sexual power, sexual energy plays in unlocking our potential. It's been on my heart all week, and I just thought to check in. How many of us have read Think and Grow Rich? It's a book that, for me, everyone should read. It's one of my textbooks. But okay, you need to read that if you haven't yet. Yeah. And I've read that book once a year at least since 1997. I can't claim to have finished reading it entirely every year, but every year I am in the book. You pick different things, pick different concepts, and you work with on a yearly basis. And in that, Napoleon Hill dedicates an entire section, an entire chapter, even and more, to transmuting. They was called transmuting sexual energies. That is where I caught. So I decided to, or I began to look into the part of sexuality in the evolution of potential, in manifestation, in success, and all that. So, as part of our build-up to DC25, I thought it would be perfect to at least get into it. So we will use this week and next week to talk about it, and the following week, Ishmael takes over with the reclamation, the grand reclamation. I'm excited. I'm excited. But okay. Hold the fort for 2 minutes. I'll be back.
Take 1 minute. I'll be back. I can't hear you.
What did you say?
He asked me to take the fort for 2 minutes. He'll be back. And I said, take the first minute. I'm watching you.
Why? Yeah, man. So we're still talking about the topic, isn't it? Of divine code.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll wait for him to come. We don't want to spoil the soup with too many meat, so we'll wait for him to come. Next. Oh, I was going to say something, but he's here, so I just.
You're going. Just say what you're going to say. Say.
It's fine. Don't worry. Let me finish. And then.
No, say.
No, I just said we're waiting for you. Let anybody go. Something you want to ask, and then you will. But you are here, so.
I was going to say no far before you come.
Okay. James. Yeah, but okay, just see whatever you're saying. I don't know why my music is not coming through. Let me just try and sort it out.
Oh, no, I wasn't really going to say. We're just talking about the topic. Like when you ask what we're expecting, what are we expecting? It was just going to. But it's good. It's good that you are back.
Yeah. So tell me what you expecting. Tell me.
The grand reclamation from shock to. I think you've explained already. I mean, you've explained already. 2 words that stands out. If anybody here to reclaim something, something that has always been yours that you're not aware. So it's more of becoming aware of our potentials, like you were saying, and then working in that, being able to achieve that. I've read the book. I've read the book Breaking Free. primary shock. Likewise, if you read the book, you would really be able to understand what the topic is about, and then get yourself ready for next 2 weeks. So you're ready. I'm really looking forward to next 2 weeks. Looking forward to I've canceled all bed watches. So looking forward to.
Sometimes I just say this over and again that, we read books, we attend conferences, we attend workshops, webinars, and all of that. And year in, year out, week in, week out, month in, month out, season in, season out. And our lives do not appear to experience the shift that we desire. Why that? How does that happen? That you attend a conference, you attend a service, and you feel so poised. The next moment, you are back to your default setting. And it appears, you can't really get on with anything that you got charged with. Why does that happen?
Well, I think it's, do I say understanding? So, for example, said I've read the book. I might not entirely understand everything now in the book, but when I read the introduction, the primary shock, because it was very, it gave me a certain understanding of, and I was really looking at it in the light of how human beings are born, and it made sense to me. And I just saying to myself, that is why, it is the reason why every child cries when they are born. That the shock of coming from your mother's womb, enjoying everything, and then you come into a world that, you come in and you see new people and you see new faces. The shock that it gives you, and I'll just say, is that why kids cry, like babies cry? When you understand, as he said, the free part that he talked about in the book, the primary shock, you come into this world, it's an unknown place to you. And then as you are growing up, you can't have what you want. If you want to do something, they say, no, you can't have this. You can't do that. And as time progresses, you begin to live your life or build your life according to the people around you. So your father is a doctor eventually. That's why many doctors have had their children to be doctors, because they only grow up seeing their fathers going to work, being a doctor, doing all those things. Probably they could have been something else, but they grow up, looking up to the people around them. So these three things, I think, limit us from living to our potential. When you're able to understand this, and then, so that's all. That is all I'm looking for in the coming weeks, because I really want to have that experience. I really want to be able to break away from the beliefs and the things that I've held on to, and the things that the person that I want to be. I want to be somebody because of the people I've seen, the people who have mentored me, the things around me. I want to get to the, well, I know I'm a good man already. I'm an old man, but it's never too late for me. Maybe if I break away from that mindset, I might be able to achieve my potential. So I'm really looking forward to this C25.
Yeah.
The reason why many attend conferences, they read books, but their lives are the same. It's because they don't really understand what they read. They just read it on the face value and mark, the time I've read this book. Like many people will say, I've read Think and Grow Rich. But many people are poor because they have read a book, but they are still poor. So if you have read a book, if you tell me to read Think and Grow Rich, I first have to look at your lifestyle. And then you will speak to me whether to go and read or not to read. And when we talk about Think and Grow Rich, to be rich, it doesn't necessarily have to be money, like you having the physical money. You can see somebody and say this person is rich without the person having the physical money. So if you recommend a book to somebody, your presence must speak of the volume of the book. I think that's what Jesus said, I come in the volume of the book written of me. So, yeah, many people life are the same because they're not able to grasp the concept of the book and live by it.
You've attended many conferences, you've done lots of courses, you've read many books. From personal experience, what is the block to getting charged, picking concepts and not
I don't know why my internet is, I can't hear you, it's breaking. I don't know if I should restart my computer.
No, if you've got a lot of stuff, if you've got other apps open on it which are competing with your bandwidth, just close them.
Okay.
So if you've got stuff open on it which are competing, then just close them. Because it's obvious that the bandwidth is low. Just close applications and the restarting it won't change anything. It's just yeah, I'm listening.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, can you kindly repeat your question?
No, so what I'm
Because I
saying
didn't
is
hear you.
from your personal experience, what could you say, or what can you say has been some of the reasons why maybe you might have read good books, you might have done decent courses and particularly in decent programs, but we don't follow through with the concepts, even though when they charge us, we walk away days down the line, months down the line, we are back to our default and nothing happens.
I think it's the same thing that has to do with habits. You know, that subconscious programming of doing this, whatever we're doing, we've been doing it. So to be fair, sometimes it's not just that a weekend or reading a book once or a weekend program that will do that deep change within us. It sparks that deep change. But if we don't consciously want that change, then it will definitely go back to our default setting. I don't know.
How do we actualize, or how do we transcend this block?
Well, from little I know, an experience, it should be one needs to really have a desire for a change in the life, you know, and with that desire, growth is not an overnight thing. We don't plant the corn and tomorrow morning it's out. It doesn't happen like that. That's against laws of nature. Growth comes gradual, and it's still having our mind fixated on that desire to change. And if it's deep in there, constant working on it, constant reading, constant studying, you know, brings that change. Most of the time, the reason why we feel, oh, why is this not happening after a 3-day program? It doesn't work that way. We don't grow like that. Nature is not like that. But even as Sunday in, Sunday out, as we come here. I can bet you, even from the very moment we started this service online till now, I have changed. My thinking has changed, has transformed, has evolved. I remember 2-3 years ago, we were talking about law of attraction, and it doesn't even come up in our conversation online here anymore. Not because it doesn't exist, but we've probably transcended it. You understand? So I think it's all about the individual understanding that, yes, life is about growth. Life is about gradual growth. A little here, a little there. Little drops of water makes the mighty ocean. It's about doing a simple, small change every day for the next 1 year, for the next 2 years, 3 years. Look back at your life 3 years ago. Are you still where you are? You're thinking in a way, you're still feeling the same emotions. You've not transcended things that get to you from then till now, then really you're not growing. So that's how I understand growth. So it's all this, if you're having a program, yes, it's part of it. Maybe you hear something you've not heard before, you deposit it within, think on it, brood on it. Okay, what next? What action will I take? And let's be easy, go easy on ourselves. It's not being easy on ourselves is not being lazy or anything, but let's be less harsh on ourselves, because it's still happening. You can't go, when you plant a corn, you can't go there and corn every morning, bring it out, pull it out. When are you growing? You're not growing. Being agitated, it doesn't work that way. You just keep watering it. Before you know it, one morning you go out there and the corn is shooting out. The shoot is out. So that's how we are as well.
Thank you. You couldn't be far from right in that. But the truth is, I say this with all humility. We all have challenges of a sort with our discipline, in the area of our discipline, unless we want to be hypocritical about it. And one of the greatest, I would say one of my greatest strengths is self-honesty. Being honest with myself, I've realized it's one of the things which has really helped me, when I've realized that, you know what, I can be a lot better in this area, and I don't give myself unnecessary excuses, and always focus on being better. See, I went through a time of having challenges committing to my 1 hour reading time that I had cultivated for myself over years. Schedules got in the way, other things crept in, and I realized it was becoming increasingly difficult. And then thankfully I came across James Clear's book, The Atomic Habit. Shared with me some very powerful principles, very simple, subtle principles, and it changed me. It was that principle that helped me gain consistency with my walking and running habits instead, for instance. And James talked about the fact that often you want to change too many things at once. That's why nothing happens. But if you can in any way focus on making little changes per time, over time, the compound effect yields magnificent results that you could not even dream of. But so many of us, we get charged at an instant, we hear principles, we hear concepts, and we straight away want to hit hard at it and get into it, and we try to do too much at the goal, and then we get overwhelmed and the change never happens. See? So whether it's cold, whether it's wet, whether it's snowy or whatever, if I want to go for a walk any day, you know the summer, I will go. And the reason is very simple. It's not because, it's not even the discipline per se, but I don't think about going out and walking for 5 miles or 5 kilometers. I don't think about that. I just think about getting out of my chair I think I need to take some time and really break down some of these habit formations that happen over time. I think of getting out of my chair, getting into my what's it called, my running gear, putting my shoe on, and just stepping outside of the door. That's all I think about. I don't think about the route. I don't think about anything. By the time I'm out of the door, the way is in front of me, I go. When I was having challenges with committing to my 1 hour personal development challenge 3 years ago, all that I did was very simple. I just said every day of my life, I'll spend just 15 minutes developing myself in the area of my career, that is in project delivery planning. So I allotted time, 4:15 every day, 16:15. Block that time. Whatever I'm doing, wherever I find myself, I'll just sit down and commit 15 minutes to whatever I'm learning, whether it's Power BI, whether it's a bit of Excel, whether it's whatever. Just 15 minutes. Sometimes the 15 minutes will stretch to 30 minutes, will stretch to an hour, but my focus is not, what's it called? The focus isn't to try and learn an hour or try and learn for 2 hours. No. Or try to finish a book. No. Just 15 minutes. 15 minutes. When the 15 minutes is done, that's my goal achieved. I just drop it. If I have scope, if I have time to go beyond the 15 minutes on a daily basis, I do. It's about consistency. I'd rather pray 5 minutes every day for the rest of my life than pray 1 hour every month. Frequency, consistency. Personally, I think that is why we fail. That is why we hear concepts. That is why we hear ideas and we don't get the benefit they promise to yield, because one, we are not accountable to ourselves. We are not willing to be consistent. It's as simple as that. The power of small, power of an atom, consistent improvements over time. And the theory proves that if you could improve 1% every day, you will be nearly 37 times better than what you are by the end of the year. Principle, the very simple principle of compounding, where your small gains build upon previous progress, accelerating your improvement over time. A lifestyle of continuous improvement. If you can adopt that approach, if you can adopt that attitude, trust me, you will not attend conferences, you wouldn't come into contact with powerful concept, webinars, workshops, and stuff like that. Feel charged, feel energized in the session, and 2 days after, you are back to what you've always been. Little changes at a time. Little changes. Anyway. So, in life, why and how do the fantasy you never consciously choose? Why and how does it keep returning like a tide to you? Have you ever wondered? Why that young man or why that young woman looked at you, glanced at you a certain way, and all of a sudden it feels like so strong a magnetic pull that you can even feel it in your solar plexus or you can feel it in your rib cage? Why a subtle smile from someone can cause your mind to just go haywire and all of a sudden you can't think? Why do this happen? Our sexual desires are not random. Sexual desire is not a malfunction to be fixed. Neither is it an appetite. As Carl Jung says, that we need to constantly feed or endlessly feed. I asked this question as a young man growing up when I was told that I need to grow, marry before I have sex. And I'd ask myself at that point, I was at the age, young, but I remember this very well. I was like 14, 15. I'm like, if I'm not supposed to be having sex, why do I then feel the urge? Why do I feel the way I feel? I asked my mom this. She wouldn't give me a very sensible answer. But growing up, I found the answer. Because that urge, that energy, that burning desire is for creativity. It's a tool for exploit. It's an energy to be channeled for something bigger beyond you. That yearning is not just for ejaculation, it's not just for orgasms. Are we still in church?
Doesn't look like it. Now go on.
Your sexual desire is not random in any way. And when we learn to understand it, when we learn to decipher, to decode, to unravel it, it becomes a compass that points toward who you are becoming. I was having a chat with the boys this morning. In fact, when we were having teen service, and I was saying, we were talking about pain. Just what did we say about pain and fear? Fear. Someone didn't show up this morning, so maybe you can rescue him. What did we say about fear? What could fear, or what is fear an evidence of?
I think I heard that part when I was reading that.
Okay, what did you hear?
If I heard it right, that fear is the evidence that something new is about to happen. So if I'm right,
Exactly. It's an indication of a birthing. It's an indication of change. Our fear is an indication of change. It's not something to put us in or to demobilize us. Often we fear when we are confronted with something new, when we are confronted with change. That is what your fear is a pointer to. So every time you're feeling a fear, I want to call it afraid, just embrace the fear and ask yourself, what is seeking to be birthed at this moment? What threshold do I need to expand beyond? Fear shouldn't be an inertia. It should rather be a momentum builder. Are you with me? So when we learn to decode, when we learn to decipher our sexual energies, it becomes the very sat-nav that points towards who and what we are becoming. You know, sexual desire, the coded message from the deepest layers of our psyche. So in the next couple of weeks, we will be dealing with going beyond expectations and fantasy. And we will learn how to translate arousal into awareness, infatuation into integration, and raw sexual drive into creative power.
Wondering what a caveman like me is doing in your modern world.
And I will sorry.
yeah, sorry for I remember that's why I did.
You know, there are three men that I have read and studied in this department. Obviously, I've mentioned Napoleon Hill earlier on. I've also talked about, obviously, you know that I'm a student of Carl and Sigmund Freud. I read Sigmund Freud on his insights on, what do you call it, his insights on sublimation, and that also blew me. It added to my understanding in this department. And what I'm seeking to do over the next couple of weeks is for us to harmonize all of these into one coherent practice that we can live by, without any form of repression, without us having the need to moralize sexual desire, and without us losing the soul or our soul of its erotic energies. I've said this over and again, that marriage is not a religious institution. If it were, then people who are irreligious won't marry. There's nothing like a Christian marriage. There's nothing like it. There is a way Christians conduct themselves in marriage. There is a way Muslims conduct themselves in marriage. There is a way traditional or African traditionalists conduct themselves in marriage. There's nothing like marriage. Sometimes the naivety of Christians, I'll say, the arrogance, where we claim that the way supposedly the Bible has taught us to conduct relationships is the ultimate, and that everyone else is wrong. How different is that from a Muslim waking up and saying that you don't believe in Allah, so I'm going to kill you? It's the same thing.
I think this is better because they will kill you before you even die. But for us, they say we go to hell. They will end your life quick.
Yeah. So our aim is very simple. It's my intent, it's my desire that over the next couple of weeks, you will come to the place of knowing how to stop leaking energy into compulsion and start shaping it into creative endeavors. Start shaping it into art, start shaping it into purpose, into presence, and into a contribution. As I've embraced that I'm here by the collective power of the entire universe to make cosmic good be felt on the planet. On the surface, desire reaches towards the body, our face, our voice, our gestures and situations. But beneath that, what our desire points to is to give us meaning for life. Your conscience doesn't speak English. Consciousness is not bound by language. It ministers and it speaks to us in images, in energies, in patterns. Hence, Nikola Tesla says, "Am I your favorite quote? If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, you need to do what?
Think in terms of energy frequencies and vibration.
Think in terms of energy, frequencies, and vibrations." Exactly that. And I've come to embrace that. I've come to accept the fact that sexual energy is the most, or is one of the most concentrated dialects we speak. Sexuality and spirituality, I was saying this before yesterday. Sexuality and spirituality, they belong in the same sentence. 3 weeks ago, during one of our topics on the conversations, we spent an entire 3 months talking about sexuality. I learned a lot in those sessions, and I added to what I already knew. So you look at someone and you find them attractive, and if you are naive, if you are unschooled, if you have not transcended, all you see is, I want that person. I want to get in their pants. I want a bit of the cookie. But if you are transcended, you realize that what that urge, what that desire is really speaking to is the fact that you want to become something through this attraction that you're feeling. There's something in you that wants to birth through that attraction. Am I clear what I'm saying? Is it clear what I'm trying to communicate?
Clear, understandable.
So with this understanding, you don't, it's not a rush to gratify the impulse. No, no, okay. I am explaining. I'm expanding more. Our desires are always begging for us to gain access to information that is buried within our psyche. Our sexual desires it points to your shadow. Of course, you have a crush on someone, there's something behind, there's something in them that is opening a portal, there's something in them that is triggering something in you that requires birthing. It's not just about an orgasm. So you look at someone and you admire them for their modesty. you feel attracted to their modesty, and it's igniting erotic feelings in you. What really is happening there is there's a part of you that is seeking to expand in modesty. Do you understand? Am I making sense?
You are.
So it's about, I want to become something through this attraction. What is this attraction begging me to become? Or begging me to become, or pulling me towards? It goes beyond an orgasm. So if our relationships don't become if our relationships do not produce or do not yield in us transcendence, then we are selling ourselves short. A relationship should become the environment for the growth of your own soul. It's not about ta-ta-ta. No, not at all. You know, it's about your shadow. It's about your unlived potentials. And the next step into your own individuation. See? So it's a pull from, or a movement, I'll say, from the life that is organized around your mask, your perceived persona, to a life that is organized or grouped around your very essence. I was sharing with this, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and I was just saying this, that whether we like it or not, that's the truth. I would say that in the area of personality, one of the truths which has changed me is that personality is not fixed. Your personal reality, it's not fixed. So I get wary of people who say that, as for me, this is how I am. It's troubling. It's not fixed. Persona, what is persona? It's a mask, isn't it? You've taught this in this place. In ancient Greek, during plays, you pick a mask, the character. The mask is a character. So I pick the mask of Kwekunimo, I put it on my face, and I play that. I act what Kwekunimo is supposed to act according to the script. And the same person will drop it and pick a different mask and act out another person. Persona, it's a mask. That's what you put on. That's why you know very well that how you want people to perceive you is just how you are portrayed to them. And you become different things to different people in different circumstances. You put on a face because you want to be seen a particular way. It's a lie. It's a lie we all live. You know? So I'm in church, and in this place, this is the culture of this place. So I cannot be seen as talking filthy. I cannot be seen as using swear words. I cannot be seen as doing that. I cannot be seen that. But when I'm a pastor, Yao, oh yeah, everything goes. Yeah, you know, I put on the mask of being myself. You see, it's a mask.
I know it does wrong. You're a different person.
A different person. You know, so it's you see, so we all there's nobody who is like whatever. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Those who grow in a mission house, you know, your parents and the people in that circle know you to be a particular way, and in some other circle, people will be surprised to find out what you can do, because it's a show. You put it up, you make it up. You're constantly making it up per how you want to be seen. You see? Have you not even started talking about sex? And so you have a persona. That's the adaptive self that gets approval. That adaptive self that keeps a job. That adaptive self that fits a culture. That adaptive self that pleases your family. You know, dad wants me to be this is how dad wants to see me. So when dad is around, I'll pretend that I'm learning all the time. I'll pretend that I'm doing all that I need to do. I'll pretend that I'm watching educational stuff. When dad is not there, I watch all the rubbish I can never watch. When mom is not watching, I'll do what we put up. It's a game that we play. So personality isn't fixed. But then our sexual desires, they betray us. They show you what sexual desire actually does. What one of the things it does is the area of your life that you're trying to suppress. Okay, they betray you. So, for instance, if you're someone who for instance, if you are pretending in real life to be asexual, you will when your conscious mind is not in the way, in the area of your sleep, in the area of your imagination, in the area of your thoughts, you will realize that you will be having more sexual images coming through because it's an area that you are trying to suppress. And your desires will betray it. That's when you come face to face with content that you find uncomfortable, and because you're telling a lie about yourself, you get edgy because you have been lying to yourself, and it betrays you. And then it opens you up to guilty feelings because you are not being honest with yourself. You see? There's nothing really wrong with a persona. But a challenge is Can you hear me all right? Can you hear me? Because I just saw that my connection is poor. That's all. Okay. But the challenge is living inside it as if it were all you are. Creating an ideal of yourself, and trying to constrict yourself within it as if that is all you were. That is where the problem is. Because it's not fixed. It's something that you have adopted a particular time. As for me, I do my things this way. As for me, I conduct myself this way. As for me, I like my stuff this way. And you try to fit in that mode. That is where the problem comes. But the moment you understand that personality or persona is adaptive, it frees you. That is one of the things that frees me. You feel pulled toward what seems outside of you. But the heat that is generated, you continue to struggle with it because you are born with it. And when the sad part comes when we don't realize what is moving inside us as desire, that is when we mistake the person as the object. We mistake the person for the source, rather than understanding that they are just a trigger to release what is yearning to be birthed within us. I honestly wish I had better ways to capture this. Someone was telling me yesterday that, so I really enjoy your sermon, so I thought that, bro, no. So I don't know if anyone can put this in better words than I have captured.
Don't forget that people also watch it because of the performer. Buju said if he doesn't listen to it, he just watch you talking. Just be yourself and speak.
Yeah. Oh wow. Am I clear till this point?
Yes.
Has anyone got anything to chip in at this point?
Not yet. I've got one or two questions, but I'll just hold my fire. As you proceed in coming weeks, it might be answered.
What question did you say you have?
I'll hold my fire. Maybe as we proceed in the coming weeks, it might be answered. Or if I can ask you now, and if you don't answer, because
You ask it if it aligns with where I'm going next. I'll capture it. If not, I'll just carry on and do it.
it's just I wanted to know how I'm able to channel that energy, because as far as I'm aware, if I see my wife and then that arousal comes, all that I know is just to hit and not miss, how it is. If it's not just about ta like Badabel said, how are you able to channel that energy? When you see somebody working very attractive, oh, this person is beautiful, wow, and certain things you begin to wake up, and then you feel the urge to get closer. So how do you channel that energy to build something positive rather than just focus on what I've always known. I don't know if I'm making sense with the question. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Does anyone want to attempt giving an answer to that?
Please, can you repeat it? The line keeps breaking on my side. I don't know why.
But I've been saying harness it. That will take a long time. Harness it and do what with it. Because as far as I'm aware.
Can you repeat your question for her in case so that
So what I was asking is, so as far as I'm aware, what I know is when I get aroused, so like say example is when you see someone beautiful lady and feel attracted to the person. What I've always known in the past is to hit and not miss. If I see somebody and I'm attracted to the person, the end product is to have sex with the person. But this new thing I'm studying, I'm beginning to realize that energy is meant for something good, not always tatata. If not always tatata, what else can I generate from that arousal? How can I use that arousal to my benefit rather than wanting to get into the person's pants? It's a general question. No, don't think that I've been going around and
right. Mama, were you still attempting to answer? No, you're talking, but you're muted. No, you're muted. Your image has gone still and you're muted. I'm quite keen to hear what you're saying. Would you only join on your phone if it's better? Because I'm not sure. Yeah, I could hear you from next door, but you're not coming through here. Let's try and log onto your phone and let's see. Right. So I think the truth that I have embraced, or the understanding that I've come to, is the fact that we carry. Oh, she's back, yeah? You want to go for it? Abi?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go for it. That's better.
Okay, if I heard what he's asking that if you see someone and is being aroused, how can he use that to awake to his benefit rather than wanting, like a person wanting to get into the person's draws, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With this topic, the only part that I kind of grasp.
You're also sounding a bit echoey. I'm not sure why that is.
Hold on, my sound is bouncing. Please answer. Let me sort my thing out.
Okay, so it all comes to how conscious or how unconscious you are. See, we all carry within us images of the ideal masculine and the ideal feminine. Okay, these are living psychic realities, and they are not just social stereotypes. And when we are unconscious, we cast those ideas onto people. And when we cast those ideas onto people, what we do animalistically is we begin to chase them on the outside. So we've got these constructs in our head, let's say, for instance, of how our ideal sexual partner should be, how this should be, how that should be. And when we see someone who provides a trigger, we cast that image on them, and then we begin to chase them to draw that pleasure out of them. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? That's why someone will say, oh, as for me, I like women with big buttocks. As for me, I like women with big breasts. As for me, I like women with this kind of face. As for me, these are ideas that we have picked. Then we see someone when they pull a trigger, we superimpose that idea on them and we begin to pursue them so that we can draw the pleasure that we have created unconsciously out of them. But the desire that we feel initially, okay, it often signals an inner figure of strength, of grace, passion, wisdom, mystery, tenderness, sovereignty, kindness. Those are the qualities, or those are the figures that are really seeking to step forward in you. But because you're unconscious, you can't see it, you don't see it, and you only see it as a dedrossing moment. You're seeing that beauty in that person. You're seeing that fantasy that you've cast upon that one. But the truth of the matter is, it all belongs to your own psyche. It's never about a person. No. It all belongs to your own psyche. So how do you re-own that projection? Back to your question. Breathe. Begin with sensation. Breathe. And locate where that pull, where that desire, where that attraction is coming from. Where in my body am I feeling this? What pressure, what rhythm, what is the temperature? I know you are thinking in your head, Charlie, when am I going to get this time to process this when the thing is when I've reached 90 and all the blood has dissipated to the wrong area.
Where said check the part of your body where that I know the part already. Where is it know where the part that the energy is?
Just locate where that pool is, where that energy is, where that where that desire is burning, where that sensation is.
Already.
Okay. And allow yourself to identify all the sensory values that accompany it. What color is it? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? How does it look like? It will take just a couple of minutes. Just hold it for that 2-3 minutes without any movement, without any action, or without even attempting to judge it or escape it. Without any judgment. Hold it. And I can guarantee you, I've done this over time, so I know that for a fact that it works. And I can guarantee, that's why I say this to them all the time. Anybody who tells me that they have been horny for days, they are a liar. It's not possible. You felt horny and you decided to rehearse it on a daily basis until you have fulfilled it in the way that you want it released and fulfilled. That's all it is. There's no blue balls doesn't exist. It's a lie.
Are you speaking for me?
I'm speaking for everyone.
You can't speak for everyone.
It doesn't exist. That is the truth. You got that feeling, you got that desire, you felt that intensity, and in your mind subconsciously, when I feel this way, it means I need to have sex. So because I haven't had it, until I had it, I am not going to let this feeling go away. And you rehearse it subconsciously, and then you claim you have been horny for 4 days, 5 days. It's not true. Nature doesn't even support that. Its hormones have got no part to play in that. It's all there. It's all mental. So let me stay to the point in trying to answer a question, then I might can jump in and then we wrap up. And as you hold that thought, as you allow yourself to understand these sensations, in that minute, in that couple of minutes, in that 3 minutes, you will just notice the images, notice the scenes, notice the words that come, notice what memory is emerging beyond the person that you're seeing. That is your first breadcrumb. And as you notice that energy, just subtly ask, what do you want from me? What does this desire want from me? Not from you. What does it want for you? And listen. You'll be surprised what comes through. It might be courage, it might be depth, it might be understanding, it might be redefining your boundaries, it might be playfulness, it might be a truth that you need to step into, it might be embracing your sovereignty. And these are not abstractions. When desire burns in us, 100% of the time, it is because our life is starving for certain qualities which require being birthed at that material time. So I've come to a place in my life now that I treat my sexual desires not as pressure, but as a curriculum that I learn from and I rehearse. Yes, it's true, you might feel and you're going at it, trying to just explode with it. But subtly, I've come to that point. Deep down within me, I'm just asking, why am I feeling this way? Beneath the attempt that you've been making to feel sexually gratified, I always ask myself that question. So how you transcend and how you transmute it is you seek to extract meaning from this very energy, which appears to be distracting you. Get meaning out of it. What does it want for you? That's a question. Anyway, come on.
This long story, just grab your go and find your wife and do what you need to do, innit? That is stress.
You think it's stress? Okay.
I'm just joking. I was just saying that and answering that question. The thought just came to me that it's all about consciousness, being conscious. I don't know if we get consciousness is not just though we are awake. Being conscious of everything, every aspect of our lives, and having that control. That's what I'm reading from what you're sharing, because it comes to even to the point of us falling asleep. I always look at that a lot of us, even something as simple as even sleeping, we just, we're tired, we fall, we lie down, and that's it. There is even before you fall asleep, there is that conscious effort, how you can use that to harness how would I to harness what word should I use? To get the best out of life or our goals that we seeking to manifest. Because all these are conscious and subconscious activities. Before you fall asleep, even that sexual activity is all subconscious. And if we know how to use it, we'll be able to use it to even manifest, things or our goals in life, to manifest certain habits in our lives. And I read somewhere, I think I've shared it before, how to use these sexual energies or even the orgasm to program yourself or achieve a goal. And someone said that you just, going through that process and just like coming with nothing attached to it, no thoughts, nothing, is waste of energy. Because that is a what's it called? Is procreation. Is a creative energy that is at work at that moment. So we need to focus our mind on a goal, on something at that moment, and let the feeling as it's happening explode like that thing has happened.
Yep.
And how you're feeling, As Neville Goddard would say, the feeling is the secret. How you feel about something is what manifests in our lives. So that's what's come to mind whilst you're sharing that.
You. Look, I'm not sure if that answers your question genuinely. I just genuinely, not your. I want a genuine answer, not your.
Yeah, it answers the question.
Cacophonous.
No, it answers the question. We just about to try and then so we'll try. We'll try what you're saying.
The truth of the matter is, whilst I wrap up for us to get into our prayer, you very prayed, to be fair. This morning's meditation and invocation was beautiful. I love it. See, is there any human who doesn't have a shadow? Is there any human without a shadow?
Not that I know of.
Okay. What creates shadows? The science students amongst us.
Light.
Light. Joshua, can you enlighten us on how shadows are created, or some other thing? You guys are the ones who are still in school, so you can help us. How are shadows created? Oh, you guys aren't there. How are shadows formed?
How's what?
How are shadows formed?
When something blocks a source of light from
So what? Yeah, go on.
When an object blocks the source of light from reflecting on the ground or a surface.
Okay. So when light is obstructed, shadows are formed. Remember that. So if you don't want the shadow, what do you do? You don't want the shadow, what do you do? You see why I always say that spirituality and science and they are mutually exclusive. You let the light flow, you remove the obstruction. Shadow is not a problem. I love shadow work. Your shadow is not evil. It is everything you refuse. It's everything you are refusing to be. The power that you disown, the hidden tendencies that you forsake and you share. So these that we're talking about that appears so it's all laborious. Oh, have I got to put myself through this just because I'm getting small arousal? I have to just now stop 2 minutes and think about, okay, what is this? What does this want for me and all of that? You don't want to do the shadow work. You don't want to remove the obstruction that is creating the shadow. You see? Desire reliably points to the door of the shadow. Every desire is pointing to a shadow that needs being worked on. And it will constantly press on places in your life that you pretend you have outgrown. Someone was just this week and a bit past, someone was telling me how they are not afraid of death and they transcended death. And I sent them a video of of PK, of Daddy. And like, why are you sending me this time? You do not realize it's late at night. I'm like, but you said you're not afraid of death. So why are you afraid of me sending you a video of someone being what's it called, a statue laying in state? You are afraid. What's wrong? you preaching and you saying you are not afraid of death, but I'm saying just a simple image, a simple video of someone lying in state who I'm stood next to. Over the video, you are afraid because it's late and you're going to sleep and it's going to cast images on your mind and you are, come on. That is what your shadow reveals. To press you in the area, in the places that you claim you have transcended, that you claim you have outgrown, when you really haven't. You see? Someone was sharing something with me. Being separated from the partner for 3 years, and they felt that they are really moved on. You'll probably listen to this. Apologies, I'm allowed to use this. I'm not mentioning your name, so only you and I know who I'm talking about. Okay. And they thought that they had outgrown, they had gotten over it. And boom, they had an instant with a partner just a day ago, a couple of days ago, and it felt like a fresh wound again. That's what I was telling her. That you don't run away from problems to solve it. We change how we see it. It's a consciousness we build around how differently we see it. The empowered mindset, the empowered perspective we bring to it is what really yields our change and our moving on. It's not being separate and removed from the person. Until you can remember the experience and not rehearse the pain and the emotions that accompany it, you have not really moved on. You have not really transcended. To ask yourself, what in this attraction, what in this desire is threatening my current identity? I've lived through this. If you pride yourself on composure, desire will provoke your wildness and your aggression. If you pride yourself in being overgiven, desire would demand you or would demand of you in the area of your needs. If you desire, if you're someone who prides yourself in your devotion, in your worship, desire will drag you into the place where it throws you into mystery and bewilderment. What you find unbearable in your attraction, the intensity, the tenderness, the danger of thereof, is what maps directly onto the parts of you that requires integration with your shadow. Beneath all our preferences lies the complexes of our emotions, our memories, our defenses, and our expectations. Abandonment, control, unreadiness, rescue, all these things, our invisibility, our conquest, and all of that. And that is what desire triggers. And when you don't identify it, it hijacks your energy, and then you feel it's all about sex. It becomes a compulsion. Then you feel like this feeling is choosing me, rather than me being the center that is feeling all of it, which positions you to channel that desire into the creative, or to the beauty that is designed to create you. I'm done. Who wants to pray? How do you close your eyes wherever you find yourself right now? In the next couple of minutes, however this message came to you, whatever it's inciting in you, allow yourself to be released. Just notice what is happening right now as you listen to this. Perhaps your breath has slowed. Perhaps an image, an idea, concept is just appearing. The doorway you haven't walked through, the conversation you have postponed, the creative risk you have been navigating again. This image, this idea, this concept is your next assignment. It's desire that has brought you to this threshold. And it's going to take your willingness to carry you across. So at this point, I ask you as an alchemist, I ask you as a mystic, I ask you not as a performer, but as a fellow sojourner and a fellow traveler with me. What will you do with this energy? Are you going to keep seeking outside? Or you're going to allow yourself, you're going to give yourself the permission to begin a new adventure within? Are you going to let your attention be harvested by distraction? Or you're going to harvest your own attention, your own focus, your own desire to cultivate that? You are human. That means you aren't weak. You're strong, you're vibrant, you have purpose about you. You are not an impure human seeking intimacy. But desire is that which is bringing and causing aliveness and alertness in you. You are human. Which means you are not reactive, but you are transmuting and you are transfiguring. You are becoming true to your desires and what your higher self is pulling you to according to. You are turning instinct into impact. You are turning longing into creation. And you are turning and harnessing, channeling your energy into excellence. Beyond expectation and fantasy lies the quiet astonishment of being fully here, of being fully present, of being awake, of being creative, of being sovereign, of being in service. Walk with me. And let's turn energy, let's turn desire into a glorious awakening and a sovereign evolution. Spirit of life, spirit of wisdom, he whose breath gives and takes away, form of all things, you before whom the life of beings is a shadow which changes and a vapor which passes. You who raise the clouds and who walks on the wings of the winds, you who exhale and then the spaces without end is inhabited. With your in-breath, and all which comes from you goes back to you. Movement without end in eternal stability. Be thou eternally blessed. We praise you and we bless you in the ever-changing empire of the created light, of shadows, of reflected, and of images. And we aspire ceaselessly to your immutable and imperishable clarity. Allow the ray of your intelligence and the warmth of your love to penetrate all the way to and through us. Then that which is volatile shall be free. The shadow shall become a body. The spirit of the air shall be a soul. The dream will then become real. And we will never again be carried away by the storm or by the tempest, because we will hold the bridles of the winged horses of dawn and will rule the rate of the night winds to fly to your ever comforting presence. O Creator, breath of all beings, in the flow and flow of your eternal word, that is the divine ocean of movement. Protect us, and so let it be. Amen. From the place of purity, soundness, sereneness, hope, love, and peace, I bless you, and I bless you, and God bless you. Amen. Shalom and life to us. We've only begun.